Hi, my name is James Lofgren. I'm one of the consultants here at Winshuttle, and today I'm going to be walking through how to use the if on index condition when using GUI scripting in transaction. So I'm using Studio 11 right now, so first we'll start with going to New, Transaction, creating from SAP Recording, and then log into your SAP system. First enter your transaction code. In this example, I'm going to be using VK12. Once you've entered your transaction code, click on Change Mode. And the only way you can use an if on index condition is if you use GUI scripting mode. So we'll select that and click Start Recording. Okay, so sometimes the screen pops up behind it, so you'll need to select it from there. First, we'll enter our condition type, enter our data here. We'll select the scale that we want to edit. So we'll click on Scales. And I have a list of values here. If on index is actually most helpful when there's no positioning tool available within SAP itself. So right now a script would have no way of identifying which value needs to be updated if there's different values on different lines. So what we're going to use is the if on index condition to have it find an exact value on the scale value and then update the amount line for that. So to do that, there's actually a pop-up that's hidden behind a GUI script that says identify disabled fields. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this button to enable it, and then we'll select on the value that we want to use as an index. So in this case, we want to use the scale value. So we'll click into the scale value of 20, and it's going to capture this field here as a disabled field. We'll uncheck this here to turn off the disabled fields, and then we'll change the value on line 20 to a new value. We'll press enter to confirm, save the data, and then back out of the transaction. So in GUI scripting, you do have to completely back out of the transaction manually. It doesn't stop immediately after save like the other recording modes. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go through and map what we have. And in this case, we're going to assume that we'll have multiple scale values that need to be updated at one time. So the first thing we're going to do is go down to where we're changing the rate, and we'll put a loop around that. So in this case, this is where we're updating the rate amount. And we'll put a loop around this because we're going to be able to want to update multiple scale values. So we're going to put our identifier column in column A. And then once we've done that, we're going to move up and we're going to start mapping out the rest of these fields that we need. So we'll use condition type in B. We'll highlight sales org through material pricing group. Then drag and drop up here and it'll select all of those. Column G, we're going to leave blank for now because what we want to do is put our scale value there to identify which one we're going to use. And then we'll use the rate in column H. So you can see when you're using identify disabled fields, there's a field automatically brought in. Any disabled fields that were identified automatically get brought in as a read from SAP to Excel. This is just to identify that the field was correctly captured, but it's not actually necessary in our script. So in this case, we're going to disable this because we don't need it to read back that value into Excel. So we have a loop around this, and now this is where we're going to place our if condition. So we want to do the if condition or the change on the rate based on the index value. So we'll highlight the rate and click on if condition. And we'll select from this list index field. And this is the list of the fields that were touched while the identify disabled fields button was turned on. So in this case, we want to use scale value as the index field. And we'll say equal to, and we're going to use compare with column, and we'll use column G, which is our unmapped column right now. So we'll hit OK. So from there, we have a loop that's going to go through each of our detail lines and find the value we put in column G and update the rate with the value in column H. So let's save what we have so far. and then we'll go to the run screen. Now when I was mapping, my distribution channel actually changed from 0, 1 to just 1. It actually does need to be 0, 1 in SAP. So you can place an apostrophe, 0, 1, and it'll keep the formatting exactly the way it is as text. So we'll say if column, we will update lines 25, or the scale value of 25. We'll also update the scale value on 10. So the scale value for 25, we'll make it 655. And the rate for scale value 10, we'll make it, let's see, 678. Make sure to put another D here. And then we'll click Save, and then Run. Okay, so it made the changes to both scale value 25 and to 10, so let's just double check that in SAP. So we'll pull up VK13. And we'll look at the scales. So we can see on line 10, or I'm sorry, on scale value 10, it was changed correctly to 678. For scale value 25, it was changed to 655 correctly. So this is how you'd use an if on index condition within GUI scripting.